Great. So which function has only one x-intercept at -6, 0? Okay, right off the bat, you can actually see that it's going to be number 3. And let me just explain why it's going to be number 3 by starting off with option 3. Okay, so you have a function which is f of x, and this is going to be x plus 6 cubed, right? So what I'm trying to say here is if you want to have just one x-intercept at -6, 0, that means you're going to have -6 as your x, right? And then you have 0 as your y. So when you're trying to find your x-intercept, right, you're going to have 0 plugged in your y, because we know that f of x is also the same thing as saying this is y, right? So this is just y, and then you're solving for x plus 6, and this is cube, right? So let's see. Yeah, so they did exactly what we have here. So this is x plus 6 and this is cubed, and that's equal to 0. And how do you even solve for x, right? You have a cube here. Well, all you have to do is you take the cube root, right? Because if you take the cube root, right, you know that taking a cube root gives you an exponent of 1 over 3, right? Or you can say this is x plus 6, then you have cube, and this is raised to the power of 1 over 3. And if you have a power, right, raising to another power, all you have to do is multiply the 2. That's why you get 1, right? So that's why we take the cube root of 0, and that's just 0, right? And from there, this gives us x plus 6, right? Because 3 times 1 over 3 is going to be 1, right? So from there, we can say this is just x plus 6, and this is equal to 0. So if you move positive 6 to the opposite side of the equation, you get -6, which is x. And that's why your x-intercept is just going to be -6, 0. And then if you look at option A, right? So for option A, they're saying that, or actually option 1 rather, for option 1, they're saying this is f of x, which is equal to x squared, and this is x plus 6, right? So right off the bat, any x-intercepts that you have, this is basically a 0, right? You only look at your x values, right? So this is 0. So that you have your x-intercept at 0, 0, and then this is basically going to be -6, right? So you do have your x-intercepts at 2 points, so it's not just one x-intercept, so it's 2 for number 1. That's why it doesn't make number 1 an option. Okay, so maybe we can move on to option 2. So for option 2, you have f of x, and this is equal to 2x, and this is times x minus 6. So right off the bat, you can see that one of your x's is going to be 0, so that's 2x, so that's 0. And then for here, you have x minus 6, which is just going to be positive 6, right? So that's why you have two x-intercepts, and it's actually found at positive 6 and 0, right? Not at -6. And then if you take a look at number 4, right? So this is f of x, which is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 2, right? If you try to factor this, right? So maybe we can have 2 and 1. Okay. Yeah, it's either you apply the quadratic formula or you think of two factors that you can multiply to. Yeah, two factors that you can multiply. However, when you add them together, you get 3. So if you have 2 and 1, that's going to work. So if you have, let's see, positive 2 and positive 1, this might work. So yeah, all you do, right, just to double check, is to expand. So you have x squared, and this is just going to be plus x, then this is plus 2x, and this is plus 3, or actually, sorry, plus 2, right? So apply FOIL method to double check that this is your quadratic equation. So this is x squared, then you have plus x, and this is plus 2x, and this is plus 2, not plus 3. And then finally, we can add the 2, right? So this is 3x, and this is plus 2, and this is x squared. So yeah, this is, in fact, your factored form of x squared plus 3x plus 2. That's why your x-intercepts are going to be at -2 and -1. So it's not at -6. That's why it's not option 4. So yeah, the correct answer is only going to be option 3 because they're looking for one x sorry, because they're looking for one x-intercept at -6 comma 0. Okay, I don't really know what's wrong with me today. I apologize. Okay, so -6 comma 0. So option 3 is correct. Great.